Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
This is Oblivion.
Yeah, it is.
When I smile out of my credit room, pictures of you and me slide into view. Snapshot frames of things they can stand still. There's something inside of me pulled away from you. Oh, yeah. The more I think about the future, the more I understand. It's times like these I try to wonder where it really ends. I don't care. I don't care Standing on the shoulders of Oblivion. Things look different now that you're not here. The doors have opened in black. Now there's nothing here that can bring me back again. The more I think about the future, cause I understand. There are times like these I start to wonder where it really ends. I don't care. I don't care. There's small house of my crowded room. Pictures of you and me slide into view. A snapshot frames your face of distance down. There's something inside of me pulled away from him. Oblivion.
Yeah! Yeah!
Ooh, buddy.
Put my hat on my head and shoes on my feet. Yeah! I'm trying not to mess you up this time. Alright.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. If you shoot him, you'll just make him mad.
Hello. A quick opening here. Not going to be too fancy tonight. I'm hoping to get Frank on this podcast. I'm going to delay doing this I'm doing this podcast tonight on a Tuesday night, August 30th. But I'm hoping to not release this until the 1st of September, and hopefully we'll have Frank on this podcast. I'm optimistic that he will come back on this podcast, since now we are actually getting the kind of listens that I was hoping for as a base of operations. When I say base of operations, what I mean is you just have to start out with something. You know, you can't start out with 15, 20 people and get shit. We're at 58 for this listen. We were at 68 last week, so we only dropped off a bit. And I'm getting more shared links from this podcast than I had last week, so I'm hoping that number is going to pop up even higher than 68. And with each passing podcast, that we can add 10 to 20 listens, and we're going in the right direction. And what is this podcast about? Well, if you haven't listened to the first two podcasts, you may not know. What this is about is it's called American Voice Podcast. And the reason it's called American Voice Podcast is we want the American voice on here. There are people out there whom I know have a lot of opinions, and they express them quite in great length and detail on Facebook wall pages. But what I want to do is give you the opportunity to have your own voice here on the air. Make your little mini podcasts. A lot of you don't have time to get on the sites that offer podcasts and radio stations and whatnot. I understand that. And that's why this is here for you. This is kind of like a tool for you to get your voice listened to. And as I mentioned in an earlier podcast, if you're very good at it, you can become a regular on this show, and it will grow from there. But this is episode 3, and if you episode 2, there was a certain subject matter I gave, a kind of a example of how you should do the podcast, and how tying things together was important and all that. It was about stupidity. And, I don't want to do all of these podcasts and be the only person who has a format. I want you involved, need you involved, and there's an email address where you can send your little MP3 wave, whatever it is. I don't care what format it's in. I can convert it to whatever format I want to. I have a converter. It's not that hard to do. So you just send to this email address your little mini podcast, and you become part of this program. And that email address is AMERICN VOICEPODCAST at hotmail.com. That is American Voice Podcast at hotmail.com. American spelled just one A. AMERCICN Voice Podcast. So the second A is eliminated. And if you, even if you can't seem to get that to work for you, if you go to Spreaker.com, Spreaker with a P, SPREAKER.com, and you type in the search box NAP, NAPP, which is National American People's Party, you will find my podcast there as well, and we'll take you to the front page of that podcast, and you look down at contact information, you'll find my email, my direct email to the very person you're talking to right now, woodwardken at hotmail.com, WOODWARDKENN at hotmail.com. So those are your two options. Those are your two options. You're kind of like, if you college football's coming up this weekend, and you have the option as a quarterback. You can pitch to AMERCIA. Pardon me. God, I did that wrong. You can pitch the football to AMERICN Voice Podcast, hotmail.com for your podcast, or you have the option to flick it to, or keep it and go for Woodward Ken at hotmail.com, WOODWARDKENN at hotmail.com. Those are your two options. I haven't set up the website yet. I've been trying to. It's a lot of work. I work, like I'm sure you do, so everybody works. It's like, holy shit, how do we get anything done when we got to work these fucking long hours to make the money so we can put food on the table? Well, this show is about just that. It's about taking care of putting food on the table in a more higher perspective, a longer range scene. It's if you're having a hard time working and you're working your ass off and paying your bills and getting your food on the table, why is this show important to you? Well, it's the investment of your time, the little time that you have to put into this show could sway opinions and make the changes we need to make necessary that your income does just what you should be doing, which is paying your bills. If you work hard in this country, you should not ever be concerned about being shut off by the water company, the cable company, or the electric company, or having your landlord issue an eviction notice to you. It's just not the America that I think we all strive to have. If you work hard and you do the best you can, you deserve, require, and need to have a security blanket that these events would never happen to you. So this is the intro. This is going to be my new 10-minute intro to the podcast. Frank's not here, but he may be later in the podcast on, and I hope he is. I've tried to tell him we've got shit going now. We've got it rolling. It took a long time to jump up from that little 10 to 12 range to the 50 to 60 range. Now we have to push even harder, take that 50 to 60 range to 100 to 150 range, and from there on forth. And the way we are going to make this show even more popular and even a bigger deal is we're going to have 500 followers. What would 500 followers do for us? It would put us in a situation where we can actually ask iHeartRadio, a radio station that is on the internet, as well as your Roku. If you have a Roku player, you know exactly what it is, and you know how to get to it. And would you imagine if we had 500 followers and iHeartRadio approved us? Yes, we have to take down the explicit shit. Duh. Example just made, and we'd have to be a little bit more politically. I wouldn't say it would be more intelligent discussion, because I think that's what we're going to get when we get opinions on this program. We'd have to eliminate the kind of chalice things like the song I played last week, My Biggest Enormous Penis, Bob and Tom show stuff would probably have to go by the wayside. But the bigger advantage, the more important thing would be our voice would be heard by much larger population of the country, and that's more important than, you know, right now we're having a little fun with what we have. That's why my music is now no longer music that is copyrighted. I use a couple sources. I told you I'll give you this podcast, and I will at the end if you don't mind. I am still going to give the proper credit to every group that I play if I can. I try my best to do that. Anyways, so what should this show be about? Well, I think, excuse me, snacking again. We want to make this show about what the show should be about. A voice, as it's called, American Voice Podcast. And what does that exactly entail? So sit back, relax, and I'll explain to you what this show is about, really in detail. And hopefully Frank will chime in as well. Why American Voice Podcast needs to be what it should be. Your voice, a podcast that's politically motivated toward a goal that we should hopefully accomplish within the next 3 years. Welcome to the show. I'm Ken Woodward, your podcast host. You will be my guest when you're ready to do so, and I hope that's soon. American Voice Podcast is on the air.
What knockers!
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
She likes the movies. Hey, she likes the restaurant. She always wants to see me, and I wanna give her what she really wants. But now she's anybody's girl. You know she's anybody's girl. That's right, I stepped away across the field, hoping that I wouldn't see her. Tired eyes across the creek, watching her eyes, watching me back. But I saw a tidal wave there had eroded the inside of her. Pilgrims and polygamy. But I do agree that she's anybody's girl. Well, you know she's anybody's girl. I know she's anybody's girl. Oh, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. That's right. La-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. She likes a restaurant, but now she's anybody's girl. Well, you know she's anybody's girl. I do agree that she's anybody's girl. Oh, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. I said sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Oh, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la.
Pardon me. So what does voice podcast mean? American voice podcast in particular. Why would you want to listen to this podcast? Well, the reason I hope you would want to listen to this podcast is that I say interesting things and that I make some sense. And as I did the first two podcasts, I hope. And now I want you to put your 2 cents in. The importance of that is, as expressed in the second podcast, you can't trust what you're watching on network news because their interest is invested by people who don't have your best interest in mind. They don't. The very concept of people who are becoming rich because of your ignorance, giving you the news you need to not be ignorant, in itself is kind of like a Marvel superhero movie. They're the ultimate villains. They're the ultimate villains because they have no superheroes to fight against them. I'm giving you your chance to be a superhero. Yeah. How about that? That's great. That's good. Great ad. Your chance to be a superhero. Your chance to fight the system and give your 2 cents worth in, because you cannot trust what's being told to you on the media. You cannot trust what you read in the paper. You cannot trust the internet. You can't even trust, for the most part, the politicians who you voted to represent you. That's fucked up. But you sense somehow, you think that things can change because these people who will say anything to make you believe that they're different, that they're unique. They're not politicians. That's what Donald Trump's whole campaign has been successful as far as the conservative side of the issues, is that his campaign is saying, I'm not a politician. I'm not the assholes that you trusted who didn't do what they said they were going to do. So therefore, because I'm not a politician, I can be trusted and I will do right by you. The problem lays there with it's invested in every person who's ever attempted to be a person of a powerful position in the office of our government, is that even if you're not a politician, doesn't quite mean for sure that even you're not a politician, that you're still not swayed by opinions and money, big money, and people who will try to, at any length given, assure you that if you do not follow the policies they tell you to do, that you're going to have your career short, very short. Try to make sense here if you can. It's difficult weave that politicians have placed in front of us. It's a network of weaves and bobs and this and that. I say this, somebody else says that, and they try to get you in this little box where you just don't know what the fuck to think. You want to believe this person's on your side, but you know better because their party or their affiliations or the people that they are supported by and back them with cash have different aspirations than you. So you just, you fall in that Trump trap. That Trump trap is, this is not a politician, so he's good. All politicians it's the lawyer joke. It really is. It's a lawyer joke. How many lawyers does it take to fill the bottom of the sea? Joke, whatever that fucking joke is. I don't know it off the top of my head. Sorry. I'm sure you've heard it. Everybody's heard it. And if you just insert politicians to the lawyer, it's kind of the same concept. Politicians are in that category, and are opinions of people that we respect. And yet, these are the people that represent us. And then if you ask 100 Americans, do you trust your politicians, your local politicians, and your federal politicians, you're going to get a low percentage back. I can tell you this, obviously, because of the wonderful 4% approval rating our Congress has gotten in the last quarter. We don't think they're doing the job, but we keep voting them in. It's like a stupid cycle. Oh, episode 1, stupidity. Thank you. Actually, that was episode 2, stupidity. And it's just rampant. It really is. I don't want to embark on I'll repeat a previous episode, so I won't do that. But I will tell you that if you understand this, you will understand everything. And I feel guilty because it's so easy. And I want to call you stupid. I don't really want to do that because it's not really the case as much as you think. It's just that, like I said, we're working these long hours, these 50, 60-hour weeks. Now, some people working 2 jobs to get to that. So that means that the jobs don't coincide shift-wise. So if you're working one morning, you're working one night. One next thing you're working one morning, next one night, and next thing you know, even if you have 2 days off or 1 day off, even during the week, you spend it sleeping and catching up on the world, and there's just too much going on in the world during that course of that week to even try to catch up on. They count on that. That's what they want. So even people who have political opinions don't have the time, like I'm doing this podcast at 10:30 at night, Central Time, and I have to work tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central Time. And really, because I had a day off, I'm more rested, so I can do it. But there's some people out there who only get 1 day off, period, and I don't know how to do it. I really don't know how to do it, and how they keep up with the world events. Well, they do. They do it by one thing, one method only, your little cell phone. And what's your cell phone connected to the internet? And the internet becomes the only really graspable information you have to update you as fast as possible, because everything has to be bleeps and blurbs. So you can't do what should be done when you vote for, as I back the train up again. I know I go forward too fast. Chug it back. The research that's necessary to make a actual informed decision. There we go. That was about as roundabout as you can get to that. An informed decision. And again, an informed decision is based on what? What you see on MSNBC or Fox News, depending on what you're a Republican or a Democrat, or CNN if you like to be a Republican but still believe there's some democracy left, democratic viewpoint left. And maybe if you're even lucky, you have HBO and watch Bill Maher, or if you have the internet Roku or your internet channel, the Young Turks. But for the most part, you have a small portion of time to pick out your news outlet, what it may be, and trust them implicably, which is a mistake to make, but a mistake easily forsaken when you don't have time to do much more than that. If you spend too much time on it, you take away whatever social life you have, and you spend most of your time at your own working. Is that your fault? No. Is that an advantage to the other team? Big time, yes. So I'm back all the way back. Train comes all the way back to the station. Chugga, woo, woo. Point started with, what is this podcast about? when I call it American Voice Podcast. What does that mean? Well, if you can't trust the networks, and you can't trust the social media, you can't even trust your own Facebook page, because you don't even know the people on your Facebook page you think are friends aren't working for the other side or against your interests. Which, by the way, the more per capita 1,000 friends you have, the more chances there are some of your friends who you think are friends are corporate moles. Isn't that fun to think about? Who in my inner and outer circle, more outer circle, are corporate moles. You can't trust the internet because the search engines are geared to give you the information they want you to see. You have to scroll down like 200-300 pages to actually get to the pages that are not corporate influenced. Who can you talk to? And I told you, you don't understand, folks. It's very simple. We can't trust the media, and we can't trust the internet, and we can't trust our own social media. Talk to each other. Voice your opinion to someone who has the same situation as you are in, and then you begin to get a conversation going that is important. Not just to you and the person you're talking to, but to many, many, many other people who are in the same circumstances as you are, and that's how you get a conversation going. So this podcast I developed, and I'm not sure if any other people or any other organization or any other podcast are out there offering to give their own podcast up to other people to talk about other things. You get the, me and Frank tried. You try to get people online via Skype or whatever, and you have your little interviews and your conversations, and that's cool. And it's the same thing to me, though, as Facebook. And what I wanted to do is eliminate that interview type situation and just give people a chance to frickin' vent. Fucking vent your fucking ass off. Scream if you want. I don't care. If you want to yell, it's cool, too. If you want to cuss, that's fine, too. We'll get on iHeartRadio, though. We'll tone it down. But until then, this is your chance to spend 40 to 60 minutes on your own little podcast that you know is going to be broadcast to people who feel the same way as you do, to people who want to see political change, and just vent your ass off. Vent your fucking ass off. Cuss if you want, scream if you want, as long as it's not it's political or something pop culture reference that we can make political or at least agree is wrong or right or stupid or bright or something we need more of or something less of. So many venues here. And if you have local politicians that you want to talk about and cover and explain to people, here's a person in my local town who's either an asshole, a jerk, or a politician who's working for us, and it's cool. That's great too. That's fantastic. You can give districts, you can give names, cities and towns, and all that crap. Mayors who are fucking freaks or whatever. This is a podcast for you to do that. And by doing that, by expressing your opinions, by in your own words, explaining to people what you believe is right, what's wrong with this country, and what should be changed, and if you have, please, if you have ideas of how to make things work better. If you're at a company and your company has no suggestion boxes, which they don't have these days at all, really, what company is there a company out there you can find that still has suggestion boxes that has more than 200 employees? If you can find that company, please email that company because they deserve kudos. They deserve some thumbs up. But if they don't, and most of them don't, so what do? Well, you have this opportunity to treat this country like your local company. Let's say America had a suggestion box. Interesting suggestion, I would think. here's your opportunity to put some notes in that suggestion box. And who knows, if enough people say, oh, fuck yeah, this guy's got a great idea, we can go to our congressmen for those ideas. We can go to our senators for those ideas. We can make those ideas not just be ideas, but law. I know. Long stretch. Great pause. Cue music.
Rucka Rucka Ali.
I was gonna steal a car, but I'm white. I was gonna steal it and drive real far, but I'm white. Now I gotta walk around and not know why. Yeah, cause I'm white, because I'm white, because I'm white. I was gonna break in your house, but I'm white. Come on, yo. I was gonna take your TV and your couch, but I'm white. Now I'm shopping at IKEA, and I know why. Why, man? Yeah, cause I'm white, because I'm white, because I'm white. I was gonna run from the cops, but I'm white. I was gonna run when they told me to stop, but I'm white. Now I got a jaywalking ticket, and I know why. Yeah, cause I'm white, because I'm white, because I'm white. I was gonna smoke some crack, but I'm white. I was gonna throw my life off track, but I'm white. Now I gotta go to college, and I know why. Yeah, cause I'm white, because I'm white, because I'm white. I was gonna shoot some thugs, but I'm white. Sucker? I was gonna kill them and take their drugs, but I'm white. Now I'm paying for their food stamps, and I know why. Yeah, cause I'm white, because I'm white, because I'm white. I was gonna drink some Sprite, but I'm white. That's some good shit, man. It's good. A little malt liquor would've also been tight, but I'm white. Now I'm sipping mocha lattes with soy on the side. Yeah, cause I'm white, because I'm white, because I'm white. I was gonna rob a bank, but I'm white. Was gonna take the money bag and say thanks, but I'm white. Now I gotta work on Wall Street, and I know why. Yeah, cause I'm white, because I'm white, because I'm white. I got me a real good life, cause I'm white. I got me a house, dog, kids, and wife, cause I'm white. I could retire when I'm 40, and I know why. Yeah, cause I'm white, because I'm white, because I'm white. I wrote this song of mine, cause I'm white. They're gonna call me racist online, cause I'm white. And if a black guy beats my ass up, I know why. Yeah, cause I'm white, because I'm white, because I'm white. Yo, man, you try that new Greek yogurt? Oh, yeah. Good shit, organic shit, man. It's a good shit, man. I can't wait to invite over them new neighbors, man. Give them some kale chips. You know what I'm saying? That non-dairy, non-fat skim. That's my shit. Oh, man, I just got that new Prius, man. You see that shit? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was just at the proctologist, dog. Yeah. What's that? That's a doctor for your asshole. I've been paying into my 401k. You don't pay my taxes and shit. Fucking IRS got me on audit. You catch them CMAs? Yeah, man. I got this new washing machine too. Efficiency, nigga.
RuckusWorld.com.
Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
So I'm giving you a venue, basically. A venue to give ideas, opinions that aren't influenced by big money. Seems a simple idea, doesn't it? So how many people out there have been watching TV or always reading the paper or on the internet have actually gotten those kind of ideas? People just saying, this is what I think is wrong in this country, and this is how we could fix it. No, you usually get just people bitching. If you want to know what the internet is in a five-letter word, it's B-I-T-C-H, bitch. Because basically, if you read your Facebook page, or if you get on the internet and try to find some opinions, it's usually just somebody bitching their ass off. Bitching, bitching, bitching. And you know what happens when you bitch? You make yourself the bitch. You're just doing the work of the people above you who are better off and who are gaining from your bitching, because if that's all you've got, they love that shit. People could, if the corporate bigwigs could just get people to bitch all day long, that's how the best corporations make most of the money. If all your employees do is bitch all day long about the bad conditions, being underpaid, the poor medical circumstances, and all that crap, you've won the war, because they spend all the day bitching, but nobody does shit. The people that are scared about it is people who actually have ideas, who actually don't just bitch, but bring up important facts and back those facts up with other facts, and suddenly that person, we can't have that guy in our company. He's not a bitch. He's making some sense. We don't want that shit. Politicians are born that way, that we can't control, like Barack Obama. But even Barack Obama eventually realized that as much as he wanted to, he couldn't do everything he wanted to do as president, as exampled by the fact that he spent so much time with these executive orders. You don't do executive orders unless you've got people who don't want to do shit. Okay? There's a reason why President Obama had so many executive orders, is because he had a Congress that didn't want to do shit. No, you have a Congress that actually wants to work, pass laws that are important, and make decisions that are important to this country. You don't have to make decisions above them. You shouldn't ever have to make decisions above them. The Congress is there as it shouldn't be there just as a guiding, voice. They are supposed to be the voice that makes decisions and makes your job much easier, because you can actually pass laws and say yay or nay to shit. He couldn't say yay. There was nothing to say yay or nay to shit. Such little was done in the Congress. There's very rare occasions where Obama had to make decisions on any law, because there's no law that got to his desk that was either A, completely going to be shut down if he said yay or nay, or B, filled with so much pork that the moral decisions that he had to make had to be, at best, unreasonable. Completely unreasonable. Our Congress doesn't work anymore, people. That 4% approval rating is there for a reason, and we know it. But as I said in the previous podcast, blaming the Congress and the President for the problems we have in the society, you're missing the whole enchilada. You're at the Taco Bell stand, you're ordering a burrito for a chimichanga 10 times problem. Ten times. You put the dent in the Titanic that the iceberg did 1,000, 100 times, thousands of times more. You're a little scratch in the Titanic. That's what you are. If you look at things the way that Congress looks at things, and you say Congress, because they don't look at the problems, they don't pass laws they need to, or the problem, they're not. They're really not. And that's the sad part about this problem we have, this country, and our desire to change and have political revolution. First of all, political revolution, that's fantastic. I agree with it 100%. We need a total change of our political situation. But when you look at what we're trying to change and how fucked up it is, understand that if you just walk in and get new people elected, doesn't mean it's going to work. The system's broke. The parts that you put in place of it have to be better than some of all parts. But if the system's so broke, it doesn't matter what parts you put in there. And I've seen this over the course of the last 10 election cycles. No matter who you put in there, no matter what their intentions are, no matter what Congress people you put in there, who you think belong there, for some reason, once they get in there, the parts that should work don't. Because as I said earlier, the second podcast, if you blame the government for you being poor, if you blame the government for having to pay too high taxes, if you blame the government for your riches and roads being all shit to shock and crap, and if you blame the government for high taxes and the rich getting richer, sorry, you missed the whole point of the entire second podcast I gave you. Stupidity is when you believe that something controls your life that doesn't control your life. When you focus on something that doesn't control your life, when you put all your energies and your abilities into stopping something that doesn't really control your life, you are stupid. The rich have done a fantastic job of laying the blame on people who really aren't responsible. We have to change the Congress. They're the ones fucking up. They wouldn't let Obama pass half the bills he should have passed, which would have made this country economically sound. No. Because the Congress is controlled by lobbyists, whom are paid off by rich corporate moguls. DuPonts, Rockefellers, the Bushes, the Rothschilds have their hands in so many politicians' pockets that if you think a politician is the problem, just look at his pocket. Who's giving him the money? We're not giving him the money. Do you give your congressman money? If you give your congressman money, oh, fuck you. You're stupid. Definitely stupid. Definitely part of the problem. Because that's not the way it works. The rich people are making sure that the only laws pass that benefit them. If there's a law that passes that benefits us, there's another law behind it that is the reason for it that will benefit them twice as much. And the tax codes are so stripped of reality compared to the way it should be that it's just a deep fucking hole. Deep fucking hole. I sound depressing. I want to lighten the mood up with some music. That is not depressing. So, hey, if you're poor and your Congress is making you poor, and it's actually not your Congress, but the rich people making you poor, this song's for you.
I ain't gonna be settled down, and I don't wanna be ahead of the crowd around me. I ain't chasing rats in the rainstorm whenever they clean, and I won't go out, out, out. Why you gonna be out, out, out? Why you gonna do that? Elevators scare me to death with the villain suits and serious faces. I might be left out to the cold, but I ain't too bad. I don't mind too much. Out, out, out. Why you gonna be out, out, out? Why you gonna do that? Get it right, do the things number 12 without a clue. Never ever gonna be that, be that, be that. I said be that, be that, be that. Ain't gonna be pushed around by a bully of a boss with a back on member. Ain't gonna be looking down from the top of that heat with his offload. I don't care and I don't mind. I'm pissing on the boss, I'm pissing my time. I can't ever get out of the way. Never gonna want it, but I was gonna say I ain't gonna be, I can't ever be, I won't ever be, I ain't gonna do that.
You know, I don't mean to embarrass you, but I'm a rather brilliant surgeon. Perhaps I could help you with that hump.
What hump?
This is for you.
Thanks for the memory. You bantered with the stars, earned all your battle scars, got paid a lot and built a pot and blew it all on cars. How lovely it was. And thanks for the memory. The rivalry with Dave, the beating that you gave. You crushed him in the ratings and you'll take that to your grave. How lovely that was. And thanks for the memory. You made Judge Ito dance, mocked Tara Reid's implants, went on a rant and told you Grant to keep it in his pants. What was he thinking? And thanks for the memory. Your jaywalking was fun, but now that bit is done. You've been retired and twice been fired for being number one. How stupid they were. Now that you're leaving, we're grieving. We're filled with a crippling sorrow. We wish he could be here tomorrow. But I bet my socks you'll turn up on Fox. So thanks for the memory. It's coming to a close. I guess that's how it goes. It gives us pause, but less because we both still have shows. So thank you so much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Very nice, guys. This next song is called Lady Fondue. And it's about girls and melted cheese.
Melted
thoroughly depressed you with this message of doom. There is hope. And if you haven't noticed, that hope is coming quick. Quicker than I even thought it would ever come. Bernie Sanders is the beginning of the end of the corporate-led media and moguls behind it, aspiring as much as they wanted to. The end of their voice being the only voice. About time. But, as Peter Parker was told, with great power comes great responsibility. When we do succeed, and eventually we will succeed, in actually electing a president that is of the people, there's going to be, as you can imagine, an uprising from those who have spent the last 4 decades filling their pockets full of our cash, underpaying us, and treating us like second-class citizens in our own country. And they will have a lot of power behind that. They may even have the power of ammunition behind that, believe it or not. Do understand that almost every foreign military operation is being funded by the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the DuPonts. They are funding wars for their own benefit and giving out false propaganda to make sure those wars are being something that we should are being encouraged to us as being important wars. That they are wars about terrorism. They're wars about the Palestinians and the Israelis. It's all propaganda that is focused upon making sure that we're always concerned and always worried about our security when we are the most secure country in the fucking world. I can get into this one for quite some time. Take the next 30 countries. Next 30 countries on the list after us as far as defense spending. Not offense spending, defense spending. Add them all up, and they don't equal our defense. Right now, Superman Superman came and wanted to destroy us, like while they were concerned about these new Marvel movies. He couldn't do it. For Christ's sake, we are that well defended. Independence Day 2 could rain hellfire on us, and we're that well defended. Every other country might be screwed, but not America. Right now, we could just basically defend if every country in the world just said, fuck you, we don't like America no more, and we're going to fire everything we have at them, and they still wouldn't be able to defeat us. What does the U.S. government want you to know that? Hell no. That would be the last thing they want you to know. They always want you to feel that your security is always at risk. There are people out there who want to kill you who can if they want to. The newest thing on the MSN page is with North Korea saying that they can attack us from attack our mainland. It's bullshit. If you think that North Korea and Kim Jong-un can actually attack us and hit targets on our mainland with nuclear weapons, guess what? If they could, they already done it. Threats are fun. If you don't have anything to back up threats with, but you're a country, a major power country, like North Korea seems to think it is, threats could be fun because, anybody can threaten. We could sell, if Mars were to actually be an actual planet that actually had aliens on it, and the aliens point out a satellite image to us and said, guess what? We actually exist, and we're going to fuck you up. We'd say, good, go for it, dudes, because we could probably fuck your plane up and blow it up 3 times over. But I digress from science fiction. Was watching a little sci-fi channel last night. Sorry. But anyways, the thing about it is, we are not ever going to be in a situation, barring some sort of amazing, maybe aliens come down and land in Russia and give them technology that's more advanced by us by hundreds of trillions of years. There's nothing short of that going to put us in a situation where we're ever going to be in danger from anyone in the world. But if you look at our defense spending, you would think that we are constantly in danger, constantly concerned about attacks. That at any moment now, there's going to be either Russia or Pakistan, I don't know, maybe Afghanistan or the Taliban are going to come out and take over our country. If you look at our defense spending, you think, fuck yeah. We're constantly concerned about that because we put all that fucking money in there. The reason that fucking money is there is because the rich people that control the government are using that military spending cash as a personal piggy bank to anything they want to. And we just keep getting taxed more and more for it. And we take up the ass and smile and say, I'm so glad we're America where we don't have to worry about being attacked. And you wonder why the DNC went after Bernie like they did. Their own nominee, the Democratic National Committee, their own nominee, one of their own, in what's supposed to be a very much a free situation where the Democratic National Committee was not supposed to be involved in any part of the campaigns from either candidates. If there had been 100 candidates, it wouldn't matter. All 100 candidates, as far as the DNC was concerned, all had the opportunity and deserved to be recognized by the DNC as their candidates as part of them. And went after Bernie with abandonments, complete desire to destroy any campaign he gave against Hillary. Well, the reason for that is because the DNC is funded by many, many rich people who don't want to see Bernie. Who'd want to see Bernie, if you're rich, become president? It'd be like a death sentence to your savings account. You might have some members of your family a few generations down the road actually have to work for a living if that happened. You couldn't have that royalty that you've had in this country for the last 60 years to 100 years, actually. That royalty would end. The bloodlines would have to actually act on their own. Consider the son of Mr. DuPont actually having to go to work with a lunch bucket. The shame. Oh, the shame. No. And that's the big thing about this country that we don't understand. And at the same time, the poison of this country is the fruit of this country. If that makes sense to you, and I don't know if it can. The poison being that rich people get so greedy that they don't give a fuck about anything but themselves. And even though they know they're screwing the future of this country's economy, even though they're taking the workers, the people who made them rich, and grinding them into the ground to the eventual point where the money will stop coming in because we're going to a major recession. The Black Friday will happen. That's not part of Christmas. Even those people who know that the gravy train is going to the end continue on. The greed continues on. It's like a sick cycle. I said it in an earlier podcast before these podcasts, the American Voice podcast, the sick cycle of the disease that I consider to be called greed. That it's not enough to have enough for you to be happy and secure the rest of your life. You feel the need to make sure that the generations to come, no one in your family for the next 2 centuries has to work or prove themselves to anyone. That's royalty. And ask England how royalty works so well. It doesn't work that well. They backed off even down. You have your duchess, you have your queen and king. And basically, after that, before that, a few centuries or so before that, there was a huge bloodline. It was all the way down to duchess, queens, and princes, and whatever you have. And now we're just down to basically, the king and queen, and the duchess, and that's it. They're smart enough to realize that royalty bloodline does not work in a world global economy, and it will not work for us in a world global economy. You have to have some sort of plan in place for the people who work for you, who are making the money for you, to continue to be secure. lost upon the ears of many. It is. And again, if you think the government's the reason why you're fucked, you're not watching the show. The show's not there. The show's over here, folks. The show is... turn to your Wall Street channel and watch the stocks and all that crap every day. That's where the show's at. That's where the money's at. That's where it's being made at. It's not Trading Places. It's not Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. It's not you and me. It's the rich people taking our money and making themselves richer. So, hence, prepare for my solution. And I want to hear your solution. This is my solution. And before I do that, let's have our music, please. Cue.
From what was once an inarticulate mass of lifeless tissues, may I now present a cultured, sophisticated man about town. Hit it! If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, or cutaway coat, perfect fits. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying mighty hard to look like Gary Cooper. Come, let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst.
watch you die and not feel a thing.
So as you listen to this podcast, I hope you again got the news I wanted to get out to you, the important issues that I wanted to get out to you. The first big important issue is how to become part of this podcast, become part of the voice, the voice besides the media and the internet and the social media and whatever outlets you think you get your news from that you can trust. Trust other people. Trust people in the same boat as you. Trust people who are on your side, who have to gain or lose as much as you in a political revolution. This is what this podcast is for. A voice. Hash out. I don't care if your opinions I don't agree with, or other people might not agree with, or if your opinions, your ideas, and how to make things work I don't agree with. It's all about democracy. What's democracy? A bunch of people getting together in a room, call this a giant podcast chat room, and hashing out an idea. Getting organized. Because that's what it's about. I mean, you can have your little third-party ideas and your big dreams and all that shit, your political revolution shit, but eventually all of you will have to get together in this big-ass room and come up with a platform that works for everybody. And that's not just the poor and the middle class, the rich too. You got to make everybody happy. It's not as easy as it sounds, folks. Again, the American dream cannot be squashed at the expense. Be squashed at the expense of us all finding a way to make everyone happy. You still have to have the opportunity in this country, if you're talented, if you work hard, to be reaping the rewards. So it's not as easy as it sounds to make everyone happy. The thing we're trying to do here is to get the people who are working their butts off, working 40 hours plus a week, to not live in poverty. I don't think that's asking much. And I don't think we have to take a lot off the table from the people who have done well in this country to do that. But we have to have a conversation. And this podcast is that conversation. Your opportunity. Again, like I say, if you don't want to do political, that's fine. You like to do some pop culture, we can do that. A little brevity in this podcast would be welcomed, I'm sure. But I'm looking mostly for people with ideas, opinions, and ideas. And your idea might not work. Your idea might not be thought by many people to be a good idea. It's fine. But you put your idea out there. And you put your idea out there. That's the most important thing. Because it's going to take this. It's going to take a lot of ideas. And from those ideas, we find the ones that work. And from there, we find a platform for a voice. The American voice. So that's what I'm looking for here. American voices. And with that, I'll give you my solutions. And you may not agree with it. In fact, I'm certain you won't. Not because it's very left-wing. Not because it's centrist. Because it's not possible. A little Gene Wilder for you. A little true imagination. A little Gene Wilder for you. A little out there. Sane, but at the same time, any moment now could burst. Seams and go crazy. Stir crazy. What we have to do is not just give our employees a raise. I said before, you put a number out there, the accountants for all these corporations will go right to work on it and make sure within the time the period it comes for that number to come to fruition, it won't matter. It'll still be the same percentage. You'll still be paying the same percentage for your rent, your gas, your electric, your water, your groceries. It'll all come out the same in the wash. Never give accountants a number, because that's what they do for a living. They crunch those numbers, and they make them work for the people they work for. And guess who they work for? They work for the wealthy and rich. You see too many people. Do you see a lot of people who shop at Walmart have accountants? Ask anybody at Walmart who's shopping, do you have an accountant? And then go to Macy's and ask how many people out there have an accountant. Check the percentages. I'm not going to actually look it up on the internet because I already know. Good luck finding more people at Walmart who have accountants than at Macy's. shopping. It's not. It's just fucking common sense. And we can't just tax the rich the fuck out of the rich. Again, because the response is always going to be, if you up their their minimum wage workers' wages, and if you tax them more, they will get accountants to make that work for them anyway, at our expense, or higher prices, inflation, and all such. So what we have to do is force them in a position where either they pay their workers a fair wage, a fair percentage of the profits they make. That's the key. The percentage, not a wage, but a percentage of profits. A profit-sharing corporation, 100% profit sharing. Not just one that gives the employees a check at the end of the year of the profits they made, but one that gives the employees their checks based on the profits they make. Based on what they make. And not every corporation makes money. That's where the government steps in and compensates by proportion those companies that don't make high profits. But these companies that are making hand-over-fist profits, imagine if they actually had to dole it out by percentage to their employees. CEOs would make millions less a year. But you know what? They survive. And actually, they thrive. Because when you put the money in the pockets of the people who are your consumers that haven't been getting that money, what do? They spend it. They spend it. Greed has somehow fogged these individuals who otherwise are logical human beings who can understand actual economics to the point that they don't realize they're killing the very people that make their company work. And so what are they doing? In response, they're going overseas and they're going international to get other people who they haven't fucked over yet to see if they can give them money. But you know what? Eventually, even that will stop working. And when that stops working, the shit hits the fan. Hits the fan like a goddamn Buckaroo Banzu. Get companies on board with paying a profit margin. And being aware that if that profit margin it goes to a certain point that's negating them, or if they're not making any money at all, that the government's willing to compensate to that effect. That's not welfare. That's not welfare, folks. That's compensation for your work. If you look at it that way, it's not welfare. Now, people who don't work, I don't think deserve welfare unless they're incapable of working. Which would be the second part of my equation to fix a lot of problems with our country. People who are being paid unemployment who have no desire to work. But if you give companies the incentive to pay a fair share of the profits, a percentage of the profits to all their employees, there's a reason not only for the employees to be very proud of the work, but to work harder. Just a thought. If your company, I'll end with this, and it's as simple as this. Do the research. Sit down. Punch it in and Google it. You can Google it. This information is probably out there. What your company made last year and how many employees they have. And divide that number of employees into that profit. And look at what you made that year. And tell me that if you made a percentage of the profit your company made that year, it will not make you not only secure, but someone who's willing to just bust their ass and actually do the work that puts this country back on top as far as quality work and quality products. And if you think that's, you can give me an example where I'm sorry you're wrong, or if you find your company is, that was in the red, and you don't think the government wouldn't have to have the money after they stop paying benefits to people who don't want to work, and stop sending millions of dollars to countries who have disasters who will never pay us back, and start taxing derivatives and and bad business deals by corporations that know that even if they fuck up, they're going to get paid back by the government if they fuck up bad enough because they're too big to fail, then you're right. I don't have a solution. I think I do. And with that, again, the email address, AmericnVoicepodcast, pardon me, at hotmail.com. American Voice Podcast. American with just one A, the first A, Voice Podcast at hotmail.com. What you got? Good night, stay vigilant, stay informed, and tune in to episode 4. Or better yet, be a part of episode 4. Good night.
Nowhere special. I always wanted to go there.
Wait a minute. Cubs win World Series. Against Miami?
Yeah, it's something, huh? Who would have thought? 100 to 1 shot. I wish I could go back to the beginning of the season, put some money on the Cubs.
I just meant Miami. What did you just say?
I said I wish I could go back to the beginning of the season, put some money on the Cubbies.
They told